Yeah, man. We'll wait a couple minutes since we started. A little late, but Joe, you been looking at the charts, man, or what?
Man, I've been on there, boy. I was hitting for a little bit, and then I was telling you, I was telling you, I said, I try to like see because it was I seen that the joint was going high, so I was like trying to see if I sell to see if it was going to drop. But every time I try to sell, it was I was taking L's.
Hey, man. They pushed that. They had that thing on steroids this week, man.
Yeah, they did, bro. Like I was like, it was like, damn, the joint going higher and higher. I was like,
Yeah, man. See, sometimes, that's how. But you see how the thing be moving, man. So basically, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about missing the trade, man, because you're gonna catch enough. So basically, yeah, this thing in a strong uptrend, man. You guys can see the chart, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. So the market in the uptrend, man. This is the daily chart.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, where I'm putting the arrows at, basically, you got these lower highs that formed.
Yeah.
So off this trend line, you see this line I got drawn, like you see this black line that I got going up.
Yeah.
So so the market pretty much tapped that, man, on May 18th, and it hasn't came back. You know what I mean? It pretty much shot straight up, man. So this is the daily chart. So now, and I'll kind of start showing you, like, so you got these other three lines, the red line, the blue line, and the black one. Now they're not lines; they're basically EMAs. So if you look at the if you look up here where my cursor is, it says EMA 200. So you could try to add that to your chart, the EMA 14 and the EMA 50. So basically, how you add it in, you go to indicators, and then you go to just type in EMA. Or actually put in just put in moving average, and then it's this one, moving average exponential. This one right here. So that's the one you select. And then once it comes up, so I'll show you right now. So once it comes up, let me go here real quick. So moving average exponential. And then let me mute Kavaz real quick.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I went inside the freaking store, man, and I thought I can listen, but I guess it was still in the car. So,
you just transfer it to your phone and hit mute, man. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I should have did.
Yeah, but yeah. So Joe, when you add it on, it's gonna come up with this EMA 9. That's like the default setting.
Okay.
So you go to settings, and then you go to the length. And then you type in 14. So when you type in 14, you hit OK. That's the first one. Then you're gonna add another one. That's gonna be the 50. So you're gonna change the length to 50.
Okay.
And then you're gonna add the third one, and you're gonna change the length to 200.
All right.
So you're gonna have 3 EMAs. So basically, what happens is the EMAs, they're like they're actually a version of support and resistance. They act as support and resistance. So basically, remember I was telling you guys about the 12-hour chart. So if you notice right now, so what you want to see when it's super bullish, when the market's super bullish, you want to see it cross above. So you see the red EMA. So remember, so this is what I did. I changed the colors. So the 14 is red. The 14 EMA is red. The 50 EMA is blue, and then the 200 EMA is black. So basically, the 200 EMA is a very strong trend reversal signal. So if the market crosses above the 200, and what I'm gonna do right now, so you see it, I'm gonna take the 14 and I'm gonna take the 50 off. So right now, so you see this line, this black line my cursor is going over, it's like a squiggly line that goes down. You see that, right?
Yeah, I see it.
200. That's the 200 EMA, and that's on the 12-hour chart. So right now, if you notice where my cursor is, the market, it bounced above the 200 EMA. Then you got the next candle that come down. It came down and pretty much tapped it, which if you notice, it matches. Once it basically came right off of 135. Because if you look to the right, the red. Remember we got the red, blue, and black, the even number. So it bounced off the even number, 135 even, and that thing shot up, man. So until it technically drops below the 200, you're gonna only be looking for buys. So what happens is you want to try to buy the retest. So perfect example would be right here. So so see how it bounced right above the 200. It came back and did a retest. So now on this candle, the next candle, right? This current candle, it closed above 136, and then it came back down and it retested. So this is where you would have been looking at buys. Right here, you would have bought off 136 and held it. So that trade alone this past week was like 3,700 pips, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like they got this thing on steroids right now, man.
Nah.
So to be honest, right now it's at 139. This thing could go all the way to. Let me pull up the daily to see the closest resistance. So right now it could try to test. Let me go to the weekly. So see right now, when you look to the left here, this is on a weekly chart. It's doing like a big heading almost like a W pattern. If you notice right here, it comes down, comes up.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? It's doing like a W. You see, it's almost like a big W.
Yeah.
So it can go all the way. So technically, this is what I was gonna tell you, right? So on the higher time frames, and this is what I've been studying over the last like couple of weeks. Like on the higher time frames, if it closes above the 14 to 50, it's gonna try to go to the 200 on the higher time frame. So if you notice, the 200 is up here where the next big resistance is, which is all the way at 144, 145 area. So this thing can go all the way up to 145, man, which is another 5,000 pips before it starts to drop again.
Yeah. So
if it breaks out above 145, it's headed to 150 area because that's all the way up here. So that's how you got to look at it. And like I said, remember over the last like 2 or 3 weeks, all I've been doing is pretty much studying this 12-hour chart and seeing how it reacts off of the 14 and the 50. Because I knew about the 14, 50, and 200 for a while, but now it's just applying it to the higher time frames because we want a higher confirmation of we want higher confirmation. So now. Yeah, man. So all right. So perfect example, right? So if you go to the 12-hour chart, and I'm gonna break it down on the 12-hour chart. So let me take these arrows off. So if the market closes above the 14 with strong like patching, so if you notice here, and I'm gonna show you right here, right? Mm-hmm. So this is, remember how going back to before when I was telling you guys about the anchor candle. Yeah. So this candle right here on May 25th. 12-hour candle, it closed really hard above the 14, right? So what you would do is you want to wait for a retest, and that's all that these candles are. These candles right here were basically retest candles. This candle, like all these candles were basically a retest of that previous this first arrow, this big candle. This is the retest. So it came down all the way down to 131,640. And then it did a retest and then it shot up. But what happens is if you see a big push and a close of the candle, so remember this is a 12-hour candle. So this candle opened at 5 p.m. on May 25th. That means it closed at 5 a.m. Right on May 26th. Yeah. So you know that you're gonna wait for a retest of the 14 EMA, and then and remember you're still gonna use the levels. The levels that we were talking about before are still good. So let me zoom in so you can see it. Right. Yeah. So these levels, remember I was telling you, the black, the blue, the red, whatever, they're still valid. It's just that you're also using the EMA for extra confirmation. Confirmation. So yeah, so look, it closed above the 14. You're gonna wait for a retest because you want to buy as close as you can to the breakout, to the EMA. So if you would have bought here at 131,790 basically, if it that it's gonna cross, it already crossed both the 14 and the 50 EMA. So the next target is going to be the 200 EMA. So notice up here, this is a 200 EMA, right? This is a 200 EMA. So from where you would have bought 131,700, basically 131,800 to the EMA is 134, basically 135. So you would have had about 3,000 pips just off that trade. You just had to hold it, man.
Yeah.
But it's strong confirmation. So every time, so if it crosses above the 14, you want to see how it reacts at the 50. It's going to go to the 50. If it crosses the 50, it's going to head to the 200. And if it crosses the 200, it's going to be a big breakout. And that's what they're doing right now because it crossed the 200. So this thing is gone, man. So the closest, the next, now, all right, this is the monthly chart. This is the monthly chart, right? So this is for June. June just started. So now the thing is, what you got to look at is that when you look up here, the closest, the next target would be the 50 EMA, right? So the 50 EMA, like I said, is 145. It can go to like 145 or whatever the case may be. You could try to test it. So that's what could be going on, man. Now you just have to kind of watch it though, because overall still, and let me go to a clean chart. Let me go to this one, no chart, just to show you like what it is. I'm gonna take the EMAs off and everything. So just gonna be a blank chart.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna go to the monthly. So overall though, on the monthly, if you notice it, I'm gonna draw a trend line from here. You're still on a downtrend. You know what I'm saying? Because if you notice from here, this is from 2007, man. This is from August 2007 when it touched June 1st of 2015. So, you know what I mean? It's been trending down. However, it can come up and test. This is a long-term trend line though. This is a long-term. This is the monthly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got the whole month. Now, if you go to a weekly, you could also see it on the weekly. We can also draw a smaller trend line here because it's more current. You know what I mean? It's more current.
Yeah.
So for a trend line to be valid, you need at least 2 touches of the trend line. So we got 2 touches right here. If you notice, we got 2 touches.
Yeah.
So right now, technically, we gotta watch. Remember I was saying 145, that it might go to 145. This is like the 144, 145 area right here.
Okay.
So that's where, because look, you had a lower high. So you had a high, then you had a lower high. You know what I mean? So it could come up to this 145, 144, 144, 500 area, and then sell. It could be a sell. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a sell alert in. Look for sales. 145.475. Yeah, so I got an alert set there to look for sales, because if it breaks out of this line, it could easily come up and do a lower high and then drop. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest resistance I'm seeing, man. And you would see it. So obviously, look, if I just on this particular chart right here, I don't have the levels drawn out. But look, if I draw the normal level that I always tell you guys about, remember the even number?
Yeah.
So if I go here to the horizontal line, and then I go to 144. Hold on, 144 right here. So you're gonna see exactly like what I'm saying. Hold on, I don't know why this thing is like tripping, man. Come on, man. Yeah, there it is. So look, if I put in 144, because that's how we would have it on a regular chart. You see what I'm saying? So before it rejected, you see how it rejected 144 right here with the 2 arrows? It basically dropped from 144. So if it comes back up and it tests 144 again, it should drop again.
Oh, okay.
It should drop right off 144. You know what I mean? So now it could go to 144, 500 and test. So if you do a horizontal line and then we go to 144, 500, you'll see like why I'm saying that. And that's right here. And that one's technically blue. So if I go here, Yeah, it's oh, my bad. It's actually black. The 500 level is black. That's how we do it. That's how I do it. I do it black. So, yeah, it could go to 144 500, but I don't think so because that's technically the high of this black candle right here that my cursor's on is 144 627. So it could test 144.500. And you know what I did? I put in the wrong coordinate. That's why it's not matching up. So let me go 144. I did 145. It's 144. 144 500. See how that black line? It rejected right off 144 500.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So if it breaks out of this level right here, it has to, so in other words, there's strong resistance probably at 140. But if it busts above 140, it's headed to up here to test 140. It'll try to test on the weekly 144 500 area, and then it's gonna drop, man. It should drop. It's gonna drop down at least for probably a couple thousand pips, even if it goes higher.
Yeah.
Because this is a strong trend. You know what I mean? And this is a head and shoulders. They call it a head and shoulders pattern. And it's W. So let me find my binder. I'll tell you real quick. Hold on. Grab this thing. Because I basically been charting some stuff out, man, and all that. So yeah, this is let's see. Yeah, so basically on this one, if it breaks above this 140 500, man, this thing is gonna test like once it can go. It's gonna go up to this. It can try to shoot really hard pushing up, but I think it's gonna have to be some kind of pullback just because it rejected before. But if it takes out, because it rejected here in the past. So typically what happens is that if it rejected before, it's gonna reject in the past. And this is a strong like rejection right here. So this is strong. This is see, the last time it was here was February 20th, right? February 24th. So yeah, man, the last time it was here, it was at 144 500. So in a week, it dropped from 144 500 all the way down to 137 500. So it dropped 7,000 pips. So if you had a $1 lot running, man, for that whole week, you would have made $7,000.
Wow.
Just off a $1 lot.
That's crazy, yeah.
So yeah, man. But if it breaks, it has to basically break above in order to keep running hard up. I mean, because it'll test 144, it might go up and test this. It has to break out above 148, man. If it breaks above 148, it's gonna test this clear zone up here, which is like 150 area. So we'll have to see, man. But this is a strong candle. But see, right now, it's pushing up automatically without even dropping. So if you notice, like let's go to the 1 hour chart. And then today's the 7th. So yeah, this thing is pushing up already. So if you look at the daily chart from Friday, this is Friday's candle right here where my cursor is. It's already trying to fill the wick from Friday. The high of the candle from Friday was 139.742. So it's already at 139.230. So it's already trying to fill that wick.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting, man, to see like what, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And where you got them arrows at the that's the you were saying the head and shoulders?
Yeah. The head and shoulders is basically it's like a let me show you on this. Let me see if I can show you on that, because the clearest one it looks like was on the probably on the weekly chart. Yeah, it's like a W pattern. Remember how before I was saying a W pattern?
Yeah.
So you got so basically you got the head. They call this right here would be like the head. So this area, hold on. two shoulders is basically here. So this is, I'll show you. Like, so this is a shoulder. This is a shoulder over here. And then this is what they call like the head.
Okay.
So it's like a head and shoulder pattern, or a double bottom. You call it a double bottom.
The bottom,
or a double, yeah. So cause see how you got a bottom here where this arrow is, and you got a bottom here. It bottomed out here, and then it went back up. So that's what you call like a double bottom. Yeah. So so right now, in order for it to push hard, man, it has to break above this line, or this candle, this current candle right here. This is the high. Yeah. This is the high of the head, basically. So it has to break above this area in order to run really hard higher. But keep in mind though, this is the weekly chart. So this is week, right? Yeah. Every candle is a week. So it could take. But all right. So perfect example, right? So I was talking about 144, the 144 area. So that's 4,000 pips. That's almost 5,000 pips away, because right now the market it's at 139, right? 200. So this candle right here, last week's candle, the high was 139. So I'll show you right here. So 139 point, let's see what the high was, 139.742, and then the low of the candle, when it opened at 133.165. So hold on, 133.165 minus 139.742. So the market last week is crazy, man. This thing moved 6,577 pips, man. So last week, so it could easily get to this level this week. You know what I mean? If they're gonna push it hard, it could easily get up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, if you had a $1 lot running, man, you would have made 6,500, man, just off a $1 lot from you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, last week I was just hitting, bro. I did like I was making 100 every day. And then and then Thursday I hit for like 270 something.
Yeah, but you see you see what I'm saying, man? Hey, I'm telling you, man, it's there, man. The money's there, man. You just gotta learn. You just gotta learn the process, everything. You know what I mean? The process getting out, man. I'm telling you, the money right there, man. You're not gonna believe it, man. Some of those trades, you could have made $1,000 off some of those trades, because it moves like you know what I mean, 500 to 1,000, man, just in one day, man. I'm telling you, it's there. The money's there, man.
Yeah.
The hard part is just learning the craft.
Exactly. That's why I was telling. I was using just to try to do like the 100, like doing 100 a day. So I was using the 30-minute chart, and I was just running off of that. And all of them I was hitting on was at 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, man. Because remember I told you at 3:00 in the morning that's the London session. So that's a busy session. So for this pair, the one that we trade, so remember GBP, that's British, so that's London. That's when they wake up, man. 3:00 over here is 8:00 in the morning over there.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing.
Yeah, so that's when their session, their Forex session opens. Our session in the U.S. opens at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So at 8 a.m., you got the London session that's still open, and you got the U.S. session that just opened. So that's why you get the most volume between 8:00 and 11:00 in the morning, typically. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. Like so, dude, this thing is a movie, man. All you got to do, man, is just Oh, Herman trying to get on. Hold on. I need to see him over there. Hold on 1 second. Herman, what's up, man? Herman, what's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
Were you waiting long, man? Sorry, man. It didn't give me like an alert that you were there.
No, dude. I actually forgot, man. I just logged on and I'm like, I'm not even home. I was driving. I'm like, shit, maybe I can just get on my phone.
Oh yeah, it's all good, man. So yeah, but yeah, we're just going over. I'm just going over some. Cool. Dude, this thing's been a movie, dude.
Is that because of the unemployment?
Nah, man. It's well, remember this is GJ though.
Oh, GJ, got you.
Yeah, so this is the market moved 6,500 pips last week, man.
That's crazy.
So yeah, I'm just looking at it and trying to, you know what I mean? I was going over some EMAs with Joe. Joe and my brother's on here. My sister's not on here.
Gotcha.
So yeah, man. But yeah, Joe, so that's the thing. So what you can start doing on the 12-hour chart. So now it's gonna be interesting this week as far as the 12-hour chart. Like to see the other thing I was gonna tell you. So remember, when the market's trending, so remember I told you the 200 EMA, right? So if I put, let me put this on here. Go to, so that's the black line, right? Remember I was telling you the 200 EMA?
Yeah.
So if the 200 EMA is crossed, then it's gonna be, you're looking for buys only. So, but if you notice on the trend line, so look, notice this line that I got up here. That's the trend line. Remember I was telling you that, hey, this thing could reject. It might start rejecting at this line.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the weekly. Remember when I drew the trend line on the weekly? That's the weekly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, it could get some resistance here, but if it busts through this line, it's headed to 144, man. They're gonna push it all the way up to 144, and then that's when 144 to 144 500 is where they're gonna start. It's gonna have some rejections.
Okay.
Yep. So that's basically what you would be looking for this week, man.
All right.
So right now you want to try to buy the retest until it gets up to like 140. You want to look at 140. And then you want to look at you want to look at 140. Then you want to look at, if it breaks that, it's going to head all the way up to 144 area or 144 500. So that's where the rejection is going to be. So because it's 144 500. So it'll probably typically what I've seen happen, so especially on the 12-hour chart, this is what I was telling Savalas, that if you're looking at these trades, and we can kind of go back through some of these trades, what you're gonna see is that if it's gonna reject the level, it'll typically go like 200 pips possibly above it off the 12-hour chart, and then it's gonna reject within 200 pips because they want to suck people into the trade, and then they'll drop it down. So in this particular one up here, like, all right, so if you look, what I'm saying is if you look here, you'll see the rejection there, right? Then the next time it came back to this level, which was 144, basically 500, the black line, they pushed it up to 144, 883, and then they dropped it. They dropped it down. So they stuck people in thinking that it's going to be a breakout, and then they dropped it right back down. You know what I mean? So you actually, so the safer way to trade it is you wait until it goes to like one. So on this particular trade right here, what you would have did is you would have wanted to wait until it goes to like 144, 700, or like 750. You know, you want it to push basically as hard as it can, 800, whatever, and then you take it and then you just hold it because like that they're gonna trap people back in. When you look to the left, you got basically days of resistance here, so it's a very, very, very strong resistance area. They just want to basically trap people in to think that it's going to be a breakout, and then they're done. You know what I mean? Like, so they don't even know by the time that candle closed. So this candle opened at 5 a.m. By the time it closed that afternoon at 5 p.m., it was already it already had dropped back down from the high 300 pips. So those people are like sweating. You know what I mean? They were done.
Yeah.
So and then the drop started. Yeah, man. So it just like I said, I'm still the 12-hour chart. Like we know where the big moves they're gonna happen. Typically they're gonna happen either at in the London session or the U.S. session. It's just a matter of you just have to basically get a feel for the 12-hour chart. You know what I mean? Like how the 12-hour chart moves. And then you go down to the 30-minute. You can go down to the 30-minute chart at, say like at 8 o'clock in the morning, when that session opens at 3 o'clock, like you said, right? And you want to wait for the momentum. So the momentum is the big candle. So and if you notice on the chart, so let's find like 3 o'clock. Let's go to like 3 o'clock in the morning. So 3 o'clock in the morning is, it's right here, right? It's going to be up here somewhere. So 3 o'clock is right here. This is 3 o'clock in the morning. So the market already pushed above. So I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about, right? So this candle right here, somewhere right here, 2 o'clock. Yeah, 3 o'clock. So this is 3 o'clock in the morning. The market already had pushed above before 3 o'clock. It pushed above the 200 EMA.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can see these candles right here. This is before 3 o'clock. It pushed above the 200. So what you want to do is you want to wait. And remember, you're going to have the lines if you got the levels drawn out, like the 130. See 131,790. Let me draw that level here, because remember, this is the chart where I don't have the levels on there, just to have a clean chart. But if you look at 131,790 area right here, and that line technically would be a blue line. So you would have waited for it to come back down to retest 131,790 area, and that's when you would have took buy. So your first buy, it wouldn't have been right at 3. It would have been at 6 a.m. It would have been right around 6 a.m.
6 a.m. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if you'd have bought it at 6 a.m. and you would have held it throughout the U.S. session, when the U.S. session opens at 8, it got more momentum to push it higher. So that's what happened. So basically, one section, so think about, what you got to think about it is that the London session builds off the Asian session that opens at 8 p.m. at night. The U.S. session builds off the London section, typically that opens at 3 a.m. So at 8 o'clock in the morning, basically when the U.S. market opens, if the market was pushing green at night really hard, and it's in a strong uptrend, it's typically going to do the same thing in the U.S. session. You just got to wait for, remember I was telling you before, you want to buy at a discount.
Yeah.
So you want to buy low and sell high. So you want to buy as close as you can to 131,790, because when you look to the left here, you see that that's where it broke out from that area. So you want it to come back down. You just got to be patient. So if you'd have waited to 5:30 in the morning, 6 o'clock, you had it right here. You could have got in right at 131, like 0.829, and then you would have held it throughout the U.S. session, and then that would have been about 1,000 pips. Yeah. So you had a $1 lot, you would have made $1,000. Now, if you would have held, and then the crazy thing is, the next day it came right back down. Look, right here, it came right back down again to 131,793, and you had the next buy. And this one was for almost 2,000 pips. But if you would have held it all the way up, look how far this thing went, man. From 131,793 all the way, you know what I mean? 3,000 plus pips.
I think that's when it caught me, because that's why I was like, I'm gonna try to sell. And I was I'm gonna try to sell. And then that just was like, oh, that was a dumb L. Nigga, I took it. After I had so much momentum buying, I said, let me get, because I seen all the momentum going up. I was like, it's gonna start dropping soon. And then it kept on going up.
So remember though, man, what you want to do is you want to look for these areas where it rejected before. So you're not looking for a sell, and it's hard. You got to remember see how this drew this trend line or whatever the case may be. That's to be honest, if it's in momentum, it's going to start rejecting at areas like that. It's either going to reject here, or it's going to go all the way up. If it breaks out of that, it's going to go all the way up to this 144 to 144,500 level. Then it's going to drop. But until then, you're looking for buys. You basically want to buy the retest.
Yeah.
All the way up to these levels. So, you know what I mean? To 140, it's either going to go up and test like 140. So right now, that's 800 pips away. So you had a $1 lot. You're trying to go from 140, 200, 139, 200 to 140. So which would be like $800. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but that's basically what it is, man. So, because remember, what you want to do is you're going to trade level to level. So remember I was telling you before about the EMA? If it breaks to 14, it's going to go to the 50. If it breaks to 50, it's going to try to go to the 200.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the lines that I have on the chart. So if you go here to the 5-minute chart, if it breaks above 138, if it breaks above the 790 level, it's going to try to go to the even number.
Okay.
Right? If it breaks the even number, it's going to try to go to the next level, which is the 0.500 level above it. So you basically trade level to level. That's what you want to try to do.
Okay.
So if you notice on this candle right here, it broke above 139. When you look to the right, that's the 139, right? It broke above 139, so it's going to try. It should technically try to go up and test 139.500. So if you took that buy off 139, if it goes to 139.500, you made $500 on a $1 lot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But this thing been a movie, man. But look, I'm gonna have to do another one because the time's gonna run out on this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. So I'll send you guys a link.
All right.
All right.